Straight Shift with the Car Chick, the podcast that's all about cars, buying, selling, fixing, and driving, and sometimes renting fast if you're the car chick. Now, here she is.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Straight Shift. I hope everyone is having a great and safe summer and that you all had a wonderful 4th of July holiday. I have talked in past podcasts and I preach a lot about warranties because it's one of the things that comes up so frequently with my car buying clients, especially the ones that are buying used cars and they're wondering if they should buy an extended warranty, or is the car we're buying are under some sort of warranty? Is it certified pre-owned, or is it still under the original factory warranty? Back in, I think it was episode 26, I talked about extended warranties and kind of all the other crap they want to try and sell you in the finance office and whether I think those things are really worth it. But I also hear about people that they have purchased an extended warranty, or their car is under the original factory warranty or a certified pre-owned warranty, and they have a problem with it. But when they take the vehicle into the dealership to get it fixed, the repairs are denied under the warranty. They will not pay for it. And people get really pissed. And I totally understand that. This happens, something I read about this week. I've been shopping for a used swanky Mercedes for one of my clients. And I was researching a small independent dealership that had a very promising looking car. And I was looking them up on the Better Business Bureau because that's part of my process. And I saw that they had a few complaints against them, which is no big deal. There's not a dealership on the planet that doesn't have some sort of complaints filed against them or a bad Google review or something. That's just the nature of the business, which is why I look into the details. And I was reading this one, and it said that the person had purchased a pre-owned BMW, and this dealership puts a little 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty on all their cars just to give people a little bit of a peace of mind. And within the first couple of weeks, the customer noticed that there was a kind of a rattling noise coming from the engine. So they took it to the BMW dealer, knowing they had this little warranty. And the dealership found that the timing chain was loose, which is pretty scary because if that thing breaks, your engine goes kablooey. Timing chains are not supposed to wear out, at least not for 100,000+ miles, but it can happen, especially if you haven't changed the oil frequently enough because they get gummed up. But again, that's kind of a platform for another day. But the dealership or the BMW refused to repair it under warranty. The dealership said that, hey, it's loose. You need to replace the timing chain, and the tensioners and that whole system. And, that's going to be $3,000 or whatever. The warranty company said, you know what? That's not our problem because it wasn't actually broken. If the timing chain had broken and the engine had gone kablooey, then they would have fixed it. But the timing chain just being stretched and loose was considered a maintenance item. So this is the type of lack of understanding that consumers have about how warranties work. There are a lot of fine print and a lot of loopholes on terms of what is covered and what is not. And that story really made me think about, okay, let's talk in depth about warranties. And as I was putting all this information together for the podcast, I realized this is a lot of information. So I'm going to do a 2-part series this month. Part 1 today is going to be about factory warranties that come with new cars and how that works and how you can, avoid getting yours voided by the manufacturer and what's covered and what's really not. And then at the end of the month, I'll do part 2 and talk more about extended warranties and the different types of those, who provides them, how that process works, and some big red flags around the whole extended warranty industry. So today, let's talk about the new car warranty that comes with brand spanking new vehicles that you buy off the lot from the dealers. The term warranty is a legal term. And so, when we talk about these things, sometimes talking about extended warranties, that's actually a misnomer. They're called extended service contracts. But the factory warranty that comes with a new car is a true warranty. Warranty under contract law And I am not a lawyer, I don't play one on TV, but it is a legal term that refers to a promise made by the manufacturer or seller of a product that says, we guarantee our product to be free of defects for a certain period of time. So basically, the automotive manufacturers are saying, hey, we made a good car and we do not expect all these things to break within this time frame, but if they do, we'll make it right and fix it for you. So in a nutshell, in layman's terms, that is what a warranty means. Now, when you are talking about a new car warranty from the manufacturer, you're going to probably hear or read some different terms. We tend to think of these things as the bumper to bumper warranty, and that's the term that used to be used in the automotive industry. But again, the lawyers got involved and somebody got sued and it went to court, and the lawyers argued, well, bumper to bumper really implies that, these body panels are covered and, these things should be covered, when the warranty company really did not intend those things to be covered. So again, they had to change the terminology because the auto manufacturers lost a lawsuit. So they no longer use the term bumper to bumper. As normal people, we do, but the terms that you will hear the industry use from a legal perspective are a full warranty or a basic warranty or a limited new car warranty. That's the most common one. They all kind of mean the same thing. It effectively means bumper to bumper, but it covers the manufacturer's butts if they ever get sued. So this is what comes with your car, and you will see different warranty terms. Most common one is 3 years or 36,000 miles. That is the period that the manufacturer is saying our car shouldn't break in that time frame. And every manufacturer has a little bit of a different warranty period. 3 years, 36,000 miles is the most common. And that's what you get with Honda, Toyota, I think Ford and Chevy still do. That used to be the standard. A lot of that's changed a little bit. When Hyundai and Kia came into the US market years ago, they had to differentiate themselves and get consumers to buy their cars because they were a totally untrusted brand. Nobody had ever heard of the Koreans making cars, and they were coming in with these cheap little Econo boxes, and nobody trusted the quality. So in order to get over that consumer confidence issue, Hyundai, Kia, same parent company, they said, hey, our cars come with a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty. And everybody went, whoa, that's way longer than the rest of the industry. I think it's safe to buy these cars. Now, that was the powertrain warranty. And in a few minutes, I'll explain the difference between the full warranty and the powertrain warranty. But they were the ones that really kind of shook it up, and the manufacturers realized, oh, hey, we could actually change the length of our warranty and use that as a competitive differentiator in the marketplace. But most of your typical, what I call regular cars like Hondas, Toyotas, and Fords are going to be 3 years or 36,000 miles. The key word in there is or. So that means that the warranty term is for 3 years or for 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. Meaning that if you're in sales, like a lot of my real estate agent clients, and you drive 20 to 30,000 miles a year, your warranty is going to expire on the mileage first. You're going to hit that 36,000 miles probably long before the 3-year mark. I've seen people hit it in a little over a year. When you hit that mileage, I don't care what time it is, the warranty stops. And on the flip side, if you're like me and you don't drive as much, I probably drive maybe 8,000 miles a year. So my warranty would expire if I had a new car, which I don't. My warranty would expire on time before I hit the mileage. So it's whichever one comes first, and that's important to understand. Now, your luxury brands like BMW and Mercedes and Audi, most of those have either kind of a 4-year, 50,000 mile. I think Infiniti may have a 5-year, 60. I have to look that up again. But they're all a little bit different. You just get a longer warranty on the luxury cars, which, honestly, you should because you're paying more money for the car. It should last longer. But they're all a little bit different. And that's the full warranty. Cars also come with what's called a powertrain warranty. And that's where Hyundai and Kia brought out the whole 10-year, 100,000 mile, which is just completely unheard of at the time in the industry. Powertrain is a term that refers to all of the components in your car that make it go either forwards or backwards. So you're talking about the engine and all of its internal components, your cylinders or pistons, the block, the timing gears, your gaskets, timing chain or belt, the flywheel, covers, pumps, pans, mounts, turbocharger or supercharger if your car has one. All of those go parts, along with the transmission and transaxle, which take the power from the engine and put them to the wheels so the car actually does move forward or backwards. And that's like your torque converter, the transmission mounts, the transfer case, even things like the engine control computer are included in that typically, and your seals and gaskets that let all these parts come together properly and also seal in all the fluids properly. Your axle shafts, your drive shafts, CV joints, wheel hubs, wheel bearings, U-joints, yada, yada, yada. There's a long list of parts that are included in that powertrain warranty, and those tend to be the most expensive ones when they break. So having a long powertrain warranty is a really good thing, because if your engine blows or your transmission goes, that's a huge expense. And if that's covered, you're going to be in a lot better shape. And most manufacturers will also offer what's called a corrosion warranty. And that is really the only part that covers the body panels on the car. And that's why they don't use the bumper to bumper term anymore, because there's nothing about your bumpers that are actually covered in this. But the corrosion warranty covers any of your original body panels that develop holes in them due to rust and corrosion. So this is especially important for those of you who live in places that actually experience winter. If you get snow and they put salt down, that rusts the heck out of your car. So this coverage can be really important. And again, this varies drastically by manufacturer. Some of them are at the 3-year 36, along with the full limited new vehicle warranty, whereas some of them go, like Hyundai, I think, is 7 years unlimited miles on the corrosion warranty. So especially if you live up north, that's an important warranty to pay attention to. And it's not one that is advertised in the large font. You have to look down into the finer print to see what is covered on that. The safety and restraint systems are also covered with a special warranty, and that covers your seat belts and your airbags. And the length of that warranty is often dictated by state law versus the manufacturer, but most of them tend to run 5 years or 60,000 miles. For some reason in Kansas, state law requires them to be 10-year and unlimited miles. So I guess seatbelts are super extra important in Kansas. So that's cool. I can work with that. So when you are shopping for a new car, one of the things that you should research is the warranty coverage. What is covered? How long are the terms? And what is not covered? So right now I'm going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about what is not covered, because that's actually the best way to understand a warranty, is by figuring out what it will not cover. And what are some things that you can do to void your warranty? And we don't want to do those things. So I'll be right back after this. Do you hate car shopping? Do you worry about being taken advantage of, or about finding the right car at a great price? Buying a car can be a frustrating and time-consuming experience. But what if you could get a great deal without having to do a ton of research, without having to haggle, and without the fear of buying a lemon? You can. As your personal car shopper, the Car Chick will help you pick the perfect car based on your unique lifestyle, budget, and personality. She'll handle all of the legwork and negotiating for you. All you have to do is sign the papers and take the keys. It's that easy. To learn how the Car Chick can save you time, money, and hassle on your next car purchase, give us a call at 704-248-8706. That's 704-248-8706. Or visit us on the web at thecarchick.com.
Ah, the Car Chick is back for more Straight Shift.
All right, we are back talking about warranties, and we've talked about what the new car factory warranty pretty much covers on all new cars, but it's actually easier to understand what it does not cover. And one of the things I talked about was the term bumper to bumper and why that's not used, because the bumpers are not actually covered unless they rust through prematurely. So one of the big things that is not covered by your warranty are damage to body panels due to things like collision. So if you hit things like, say, other cars, mailboxes, shopping carts, the local shrubbery, animals or humans, please don't hit the animals. Don't hit the animals. That just kills me. But any of that collision related damage is not covered by the warranty. That is what your insurance is for. The same for rock chips and other road debris, as well as theft. And I remember when years ago, I bought a brand new Infiniti G35 Sport Coupe. Great car. Her name was Isabel, by the way. But literally on the way home from the dealership, I'm driving down the freeway and a damn rock chip comes up and, hits my car and dings the paint. I had like less than 100 miles on the car. I was so mad. But again, not covered by the warranty. And because it hit paint, wasn't really covered by the insurance anyway. So unfortunately, I had to live with that little rock chip on my brand new car. But those things are not covered by the warranty. Also, damage to your car due to environmental hazards. Things like airborne chemicals, which that just sounds scary in general. But fire, tree sap, salt, hail, floods and other water damage, windstorms. So, hurricanes and tornadoes, damage caused by that, lightning, meteors falling from the sky. None of that stuff, damage to your car, is going to be covered by the warranty. Now, another thing that is not covered is tires. Now, tires are actually on your new car. They are covered by a separate warranty that is provided by the tire manufacturer. So if your new car comes with Michelin tires, A, you're lucky because they're seriously the best tires out there. And 2, Michelin will provide a warranty on those tires to a certain extent. Tire warranties are a whole animal in and of themselves, and I'm not going to go into that detail today, but just be aware that the new car warranty from the auto manufacturer does not cover the tires, but the tires may be covered if you have damage to them by the tire manufacturer warranty. So be sure you understand what that warranty on your new car is as well, and what it covers and what it does not cover. That leads to the biggest thing that is not covered by your warranty, and that is items that are considered normal wear and tear or normal maintenance. Wear and tear are items like windshield wipers. As you use them, that little rubber stuff wears out and you hear them start to go eat, 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 and they squeak, but they don't actually move the rain off your windshield. You have to change wipers periodically. Brake pads. As you use them, and the harder you are on your brakes, the faster they wear out. That is a friction material that is designed to wear as you drive your car. It is totally normal, and it's just one of those things that you have to change periodically. All the fluids in your car, those are designed to be changed. So those are maintenance items. They are not warranty items. This is a really critical thing, and you'd be surprised how many people don't really understand this. I'm always kind of flabbergasted when people, they buy a car and they think that because it's under warranty, they're not going to have to do anything to it except put gas in it. It's like, no, you still are going to incur maintenance expenses. If something breaks that's not supposed to, that is covered by the warranty, yes, that will be covered. You shouldn't have to pay out of pocket for that. But the normal maintenance is just a part of owning a car. It's one of these adulting things that we have to do. So make sure you understand the difference between maintenance and what items on your car are considered wear and tear items and which ones are not. Now, really anything on your car is going to get wear and tear over time, but that's why the warranty has a certain time period. The manufacturer says these parts should not wear out within this time period. As the car gets older and you get way more miles on it, yeah, those things are eventually going to wear out and then they become maintenance items. This is why you typically, cannot get warranties that will cover a car beyond 100 or maybe if you're lucky 120,000 miles, because as the car ages, stuff just starts to wear out. Kind of like our bodies, but at least on the car you can get replacement parts. So that is the difference between what the warranty covers and what is covered on maintenance. Now, things that should be covered, not only are the mechanical parts, but also all of your high-tech electronics, the navigation system, the radio, the infotainment system, your sound system, all your speakers, all the screens and computers and electronic stuff in the car, that is covered by the factory warranty. And that's one of the most important things right now, because those are the computer related components. Mechanical components can be maintained. You can take care of those and get them to last longer. Electronics, that stuff, it's not designed to be maintained per se. It's not like you can change the oil on your navigation system. So those are the items that, because they are electronic, and it could be, they could fail because there's an actual hardware problem with the wiring or, with the module itself, or usually what happens is it's problematic because it's computer related and it's actually a programming problem. And, it requires a change to the software. So the new car warranty covering that stuff is really important, because these days that's the stuff that is way more likely to break and that you're going to need to use that warranty for than things like the engine and the transmission. However, you can screw up the engine and the transmission on a new car. I remember years ago, I encountered a young person who had a Honda Civic, brand new Honda Civic. They only had about a little over 30,000 miles on it. And the engine died. So they brought it into the dealership to have it looked at. It was still within the 3-year, 36,000 mile new car warranty. And the dealer refused to replace the engine under the warranty. And of course, this younger person was very angry about that. But the dealership said, look, the reason the engine blew up is because you have never changed the oil. The engine inside was so nasty. I mean, it looked like burned tar, because this person was one of those people that thought, oh, I just buy a car and put gas in it and I don't have to do anything else because it's under warranty. So you can even kill a Honda if you don't change the oil. So that leads me to a few things that you can do as a vehicle owner and driver to screw yourself up and actually invalidate or void your warranty. And the biggest one is not maintaining your car. If you want that warranty to stay in effect and to have them cover stuff if it does break, you have to be able to prove to them that you took care of the car the way they told you to do it, at least as well as that. So this is where you go over to your owner's manual and you turn to the page entitled Manufacturer Recommended Maintenance Schedule. And you follow that religiously while the car is under warranty. I argue that you maintain your car religiously throughout the life of it if you want it to last. But if you want to keep that warranty up, you need to make sure that you're changing the oil at least as often as they say to. You're doing everything on that list, because they design that manufacturer or that maintenance schedule in order to support the warranty, to make sure that your car lasts. They know how they built it, so they know how it has to be maintained. Now, I will argue that some manufacturers, mainly from Germany, their maintenance schedules are not sufficient. And so that's why we do see problems sometimes with, BMW engines smoking or whatever, because their oil change intervals were too long. But if you follow the schedule that is defined in your owner's manual and do everything you're supposed to do, that should keep up your warranty. You do not have to do that work at the dealership. They cannot legally require you to do that work at the dealership in order to maintain your warranty. But it does have to be done by a qualified mechanic. So if you just decide to maintain your car, in your home garage because you're pretty handy and you have a few wrenches, keep in mind that that could give them a loophole to get out of the warranty, because they could argue in court that you were not a qualified mechanic and you did your maintenance on your own. If you do choose to do your own maintenance, like we do all the maintenance on our cars, but I'm married to a master certified mechanic, so he's more than qualified. But we still keep all of our receipts for the products that we buy to put in the cars so that the warranty would be maintained. You can take it to a good independent shop. I always push ASE certification because those mechanics at least have passed some good tests. That means they know how the car works. But you have to be able to keep your records and be able to prove to the manufacturer, hey, I took care of the car the way you told me to, and the damn thing still broke. You need to fix it. So you kind of got to cover your own butt on these things. We were in a situation where I saw some people come into an independent shop, and the timing belt on their Hyundai had broken. And this was their second timing belt, because you had to change those timing belts every 60,000 miles. And they had done that. And so when the second one broke, they took it into the dealership, because when the timing belt breaks, it's like a bomb going off in your engine. The car died and there was significant damage to the engine. The dealer actually refused it. They said, you know what? The previous timing belt was not done right. When you got it changed at this other shop, they didn't do it right. Now, that became a big battle, because the shop that did it there was a totally qualified mechanic. They did the job right. However, they may not have used manufacturer original parts. So make sure that if you are going to an independent shop and they are doing work on your car while it is under the warranty period, make sure they're using OE parts, because independent shops tend to use aftermarket parts. And sometimes that's okay, but it does give the manufacturer some wiggle room, a loophole to get out of paying out warranty repairs, because they say, you know what? This was not our timing belt. It was somebody else's timing belt that was not approved by us. So it was a defective part that caused it. Therefore, we're not going to honor the warranty. Got into a big battle. I got the dealership to actually split the difference with the people. But that's kind of why I recommend to my clients, while your vehicle is under the factory warranty, it's the safest to do your work at the dealership. That way they don't have any excuses for not doing warranty work and not covering you if something does break, because it's their own mechanics. Not everybody likes to do that, but it's just, if you want to play it safe, that's the way to do it. Other things that can invalidate your warranty: damage due to misuse of the vehicle. Now, that is defined, misuse and abuse, they like to call it. And that's defined as, if you say overload the vehicle, meaning you're hauling or towing things with it that are heavier than what the vehicle is designed to handle. You're making the vehicle do something that it wasn't designed to do. That's going to put additional strain on the engine, the transmission, your suspension, all sorts of components. And sure, they may not be able to handle that extra strain and they may break, but that's your fault, because you were trying to make the vehicle do something that it was never designed to do. Unfortunately, they also put racing under this misuse category, which I personally take exception to, but I totally understand. So if you race your car, yeah, it's going to void the warranty. Now, where the gray area on that is track days. I'm an instructor at our track here in South Carolina, and they do what's called driver's education, high performance driver's education events or track days. And technically that's not racing, because you're not wheel to wheel. It's not competitive. Nobody's timing you. It is simply learning to drive your car under extreme performance conditions. That's driver's education. It's not racing. It gets into a legal gray area. I'm not sure I'd want to be, in that legal battle, but believe me, a lot of people that buy new sports cars do track days. Most of my students that I have worked with have been in brand spanking new cars. I tell them, don't go out onto the track until the engine has gone through its break-in period and you've changed the oil a couple times. But, hey, if you don't tell them you were on the track, they don't necessarily need to know. But technically, racing is one of the things that they define as misuse of your vehicle. It can also include things like going off-roading, rock crawling, mudding, other fun but, possibly stupid activities. My quote brother, the guy that I call my brother, he bought a slightly used Jeep that should have still been under the factory warranty. It was only a year and a half old, had 20,000 miles on it. So it was still within that 3-year, 36,000 mile period. Well, he had a bunch of problems with it. And when he took it into the dealership to get it fixed under that factory warranty, we found out, because he did not let me help him buy this car, he found out that the warranty had been voided because the original owner of said Jeep had put a lift kit on it, which so many people do when they buy Jeeps. But he had done that work himself. He had done it very badly. And then he proceeded to drive the Jeep through a swamp. And all that swamp water got into places it wasn't supposed to get into because he'd done the work wrong. And it had rotted out the engine wiring harness. And it was just causing a ton of problems. And so the original owner had taken it to the dealership for warranty work. And they had finally figured out what he had done and said, you know what, dude? You caused these problems yourself. We are voiding your warranty. So, my brother didn't know that when he bought this car. So, little word to the wise, if you buy a used car, especially if it's a Jeep or a sports car, call the manufacturer, give them the VIN number, make sure the warranty is still in effect and that it hadn't been voided. So, it is possible for them to void your warranty if you do something stupid. And it's not just driving it through a swamp. It was also because he put aftermarket parts on the car, and those parts were A, not manufacturer approved, and B, he did the work himself and did a crap job of it. So if you do want to put performance parts, go fast parts, go off-road parts onto your new car while it is still under the warranty, if you can, have that work done by the dealer using manufacturer approved parts. So like for Jeep, everybody modifies Jeeps. I mean, who wants a stock Jeep? Where's the fun in that? So Mopar makes a whole bunch of really cool off-roading parts for it that are, they're Mopar. That's the manufacturer approved for Chrysler. And the dealer will put them on, and now they're covered under the warranty, and you have not voided your factory warranty. Like my Mini Cooper, I really seriously considered when I bought her upgrading the supercharger pulleys and some of the other, go fast parts to the John Cooper Works version so I could get a little more power out of her. I decided not to because they were too expensive, but those are manufacturer parts. They would have been put on by the dealership. My warranty would have been fine had I chosen to do that. Now, when I had a Porsche years ago, and I chose to put an aftermarket exhaust, a cold air, high flow intake, and a couple other things on her, technically that voided my warranty. The only problems that I had was I kept going through oxygen sensors like crazy. And we figured out it was because that cold air intake, it sucks in a lot more air than the factory one. And I lived on a gravel road. So every time I drove up and down my street, it was sucking in dust through that intake and it was gumming up my O2 sensors. And, thankfully the service manager over at the Porsche dealership, had become a buddy of mine and he was really cool about it. But after the third time, he's like, look, I just can't do this anymore. Porsche's starting to ask questions. I can't replace these under warranty for you anymore. He did me a favor replacing it the first time it happened. So just be aware if you do decide to put aftermarket parts on your car, even if it is something that you think is as simple as, a new stereo system, with some serious subwoofers or some, pimped out 22-inch rims. Those systems were not designed to work in your car by the manufacturer. And technically they could cause problems. And again, it gives the manufacturer a loophole to not honor that warranty if you have problems, because they can easily argue that the problem was related to that aftermarket unapproved part that you put on the car. So I hope this information was helpful to you on understanding what a factory warranty is, what is covered, what is not covered, and how you can totally screw yourself by voiding the warranty by doing things like putting parts and doing fun things with your car that the manufacturer doesn't approve of. So next, part 2, we'll be talking about extended warranties. So if you have not already subscribed to the RSS feed for the podcast, please be sure to do so. That way you'll be automatically notified when the podcast comes out. I usually release on the 15th and the 30th of every month. So stay tuned for part 2. And in the meantime, folks, drive safely and don't void your warranty. I'm out of here.
The Straight Shift podcast is copyright LeeAnn Shattuck, the Car Chick, 2017. All views expressed by guest and or co-hosts are those of the guest and or co-hosts, and not necessarily those of LeeAnn Shattuck or the Car Chick.